Cover your ears, darling.
Wid Yi.
I love the YouTube comment section.
Really?
Diane doesn't like us.
Diane's a bitch.
I think it's like that time everyone at South Park called Kyle's mum a bitch.
You what? You get back here, young man.
We might have talked about Diane before. Diane is actually called Karen.
Karen, yeah.
She says, you guys swear far too much. My 13-year-old son has learned too many new words. Diane, I just want to say to you, you're welcome.
Is this the same chick that said she's going to report us to her husband?
That's the one.
Oh, her. Oh, what? Who's her husband? That's what I wonder. Is she going to come up and say, my husband is Harry Merchant or some random name like that? Yeah, your husband's Harry. I don't know a Harry Merchant, do you?
No. I reckon her husband's like Nigel Farage, possibly the most horrible
hated man.
Yeah, he's just a despicable human being. For the benefit of Diane and solely Diane, why don't we try and do this episode without swearing, slagging anybody off, saying anything nasty?
Okay, I can do that.
Can we do that? Do you think we could be restrained for an entire half hour?
Right, well, here's all we do. We just sit here in silence for half an hour.
Nah, fuck that shit.
Yeah, this is a Diane-approved episode, by the way. Hello. Welcome to the Wid Yi podcast.
Good gracious, did you see that thing in the news that may or may not have happened, depending on which way your political leanings are?
Did you know that that person is now no longer a he or a she, but can be identified as a he or a she if they do so wish?
Good golly.
Yeah, good golly gosh. I can't do this anymore.
I feel like I'm in an Enid Blyton episode. Francis gets fingered.
What happened to Freddy Get Fingered? I want a sequel to that.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome back.
Fuck me, it's cold out there now, and sorry, Diane, but fuck me, it's cold out there.
Good gosh.
Good
it's
golly
a bit
gosh.
nippy.
Oh, good golly gosh. You can see my breath in the wind, in the air. When was the last time you were on the Transport Scotland website?
Oh, fuck, about 3 years ago.
3 years ago, okay.
Is this for the webcams?
No, not quite. This is to check what streets have been gritted and what streets have not been gritted. And they actually have little models on the map of where the gritters are and where they're going and what the route are, which is great. But instead of saying gritter number 14 is out here and gritter number 16 is away in the A9, excuse me, they've actually given each gritter names.
Gritty McGritface.
No. Goes better than that. One of them on the thing is Salter White. If you're a Breaking Bad fan, or you've got the Aberdonian one, Grit Like the Day. There's another couple out there with great names, Gritney Spears,
yeah,
and Spready Mercury.
Spready Mercury, I think, is being ripped off everywhere.
Well, that's because this government website has come up with it, and they've named their gritter. But if you look at the gritters on the road, the ones that are named have their name on the top of them along the side.
They do, and I miss the days when you actually saw the gritters, so you could see that for real.
Yeah, it's still there. The one I passed today was the greatest snowman.
Hang on, you saw a gritter?
I saw a gritter.
Fuck me.
It wasn't gritting, it was just driving.
I'm just wandering around going, I wonder where my friends are. Why aren't they coming out to play?
Oh, do you want to know? I know exactly what that is. That's the voice of the solitary kid on the street. Where are all my friends? Where are my friends? Gary Gritters on the streets.
Wid Yi.
So I was in a hotel in Glasgow just a couple of weeks ago there. The Crown Plaza on the side of Clydebank.
Is this in Glasgow, or is this not the one that Kevin McAllister rocks up in when he's lost in New York?
No, that's the Plaza in New York.
Oh, did you walk past Donald Trump in the lobby?
No, this is the Crown Plaza. We were at a gig just last week.
Who were you watching?
Blackstone Cherry.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was actually a good gig.
I know of them. I can't name anything they ever did, but I know of them.
You know of them? Well, they're big enough to sell out the Hydro.
Wow.
So that was a good gig. It was, instead of driving up the road, we went to the hotel, which is just across the road, the Crown Plaza. And I found a new hobby to do there, because we had a hotel room on the 15th floor. And it was quite a posh hotel. You know, you were talking the finest brassware out on display, brass railings, chandeliers, and it's that kind of wanky thing. And the bar doesn't just serve pints, it serves cocktails. So I had mojitos delivered up to the room.
Were they served in like butler's shoes?
They were served in men's hats, mainly.
And you stole these hats, presumably, when you finished drinking out of them.
And then the next day we went to see the men who wear hats. Ah, yes. But what do you think of this? As I'm going down the lobby, down the 15 floors, somebody gets in the lift, and then I have this whole long journey going down to the ground for whatever reason I was going down. I can't remember what. To go to the bar. There we go. To go to the bar.
Why else would you be leaving your hotel room?
To indulge in my new hobby, making people feel awkward in lifts. And do you want to know how I managed this?
I can think of many ways.
Well, all I would do is you'd get that eye contact. They come in the lift. You get that eye contact and they go, all right. And you say, all right. And they turn around and their back is towards you. And right behind them, I seem to just go.
And you wonder why these people don't take you on.
Well, it's not just that. I would maybe do things like, lick their necks and breathe on the back of their heads or something. Just
I mean, to be fair, I've gone to London and gone on the tube and been like, all right, and people are going to fucking stab you.
Yep, I'm going to fucking stab you, mate. So what's your unusual hobby?
I don't really have one.
You don't really have one?
I mean, I edit podcasts. Does that count as a hobby? Don't think it does.
Well, you don't get paid for it, so yeah, I say it counts as a hobby. You edit podcasts, I make masturbation noises behind people in lifts.
Yeah, I think we both need to get out more, in fairness.
In which case, while we're inside, shall we do a Wid Yi?
Go on then.
Wid Yi, stick your cow... Start again.
Stick my cow. I don't have a cow.
Yeah, stick your cow. Whoever wrote this has actually written, would you stick your cow in a tongue's anus for £100? I think what they actually mean is, would you stick your tongue in a cow's anus for £100?
I mean, why would you even think that's going to be flying?
Well, put it this way. I would.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, you're maybe thinking too literal here. What's the difference between doing that and eating a Big Mac?
Wid Yi.
So here's the thing I never thought I'd ask you. Are you watching The Jungle this year?
The only jungle I watch is when I look down my pants and look at the bush. That's the only jungle I'll look at.
I mean, everyone's... I say everyone, that's a sweeping generalisation. There are so many people going on about, the jungle's on the telly, I'm not coming out to play in the snow tonight. I don't actually know any of the celebrities or enacting my celebrity this year.
I think I know one, and that's a dude from Coronation Street. The guy that plays Tyrone.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember his name, but...
I believe his name is literally the guy who plays Tyrone in Coronation
That's
Street.
all he's done for the last 30 years. Is he's just made a career out of being Tyrone, whatever his name is. I don't know.
Dobson?
I don't know.
Do I want to Google this?
No. Why would you want to Google what's Tyrone's last name in Coronation Street?
I feel compelled tonight. I'm really sorry. Hang on a second.
I don't really care.
I mean, no, you've opened Pandora's box.
No,
What's
I've opened
Tyrone's...
you with your bloody Google.
Excuse you?
Excuse me, what?
Tyrone Dobbs. I was nearly there.
You were nearly there, but do you want to know something?
Mm-hmm.
Do I care any more or less?
Can you name his on-screen wife, real name or otherwise?
Don't give a fuck.
Wow, how did you know that's her name?
It's just magic.
So Tyrone from Coronation Street is in the jungle, literally called Tyrone from Coronation Street.
Yeah. Well, what else does he do?
He's Tyrone.
Yeah, he's Tyrone from Coronation Street. Tyrone the mechanic? Mm-hmm. Is he a mechanic? I don't know. That's about all I know. So I bet you if you go to Tyrone the mechanic in the jungle and ask him about a catalytic converter for a Ford Fiesta Z-Tech 1.6, he won't have a fucking clue.
Ask him about an EcoBoom engine.
And why would just ask him for a tin of tartan paint? See what he does. Just go for the whole, go get a long stand or a bucket of welding sparks or some sky hooks.
I mean, looking at, for the forklift, looking at Tyrone from Coronation Street, he'd be the kind of person who's like, yeah, I'll go and get you a long stand and we'll get some fallopian tubes while I'm there.
do you want to know? He's the only guy I can think of that hasn't aged a day from when he was 14.
Ken Barlow. He's looked old since he was Ken Barlow, aged 14. That's when the world was still in black and white. He's old.
Is Ken Barlow even still in Coronation Street?
Yeah, he is.
He is not, is he?
He's like 100. I mean, he's genuinely ancient. William Roach.
Is that his real name?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, he's named the jungle.
He's named after the bit in the end of a joint. You want to get me another Roach?
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
How old is he then?
Ken Barlow, born 9th of October 1939.
So he must be 87.
Yes.
Wow. That's not bad maths for me on a Friday night.
That's pretty impressive, to be fair. But the thing is, if Ken Barlow went into the jungle, people were like, oh my God, that's Ken Barlow.
But he's technically a national treasure.
He is.
Tyrone is just Tyrone.
You know who I'd love to see go in the jungle?
Go on.
We spoke about this guy before. Dick Van Dyke. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chimney. Oh, bug.
Would he actually do that, or would he just sort of like, we're getting a bit old for this now?
I think...
Even though I know that's not really his voice, but every time I think of Dick Van Dyke, I think Mary Poppins and the chimney sweep boy. All right, it's just a couple of squirrels.
It's not terrible enough to be a Dick Van Dyke Cockney impression. No, I think he'd genuinely be up for it. He strikes me as the kind of person who's game for a laugh.
Well, he's probably only game for a laugh because it'll keep him out of box for another couple of weeks.
Oh, for fuck's sake. He's, I genuinely...
He has got to be 100 years old.
Like, he's genuinely about 98. And I mean, he surfaced again in something I saw this week on social media. Don't ask me what. And it's like, here he is talking to like...
I know exactly what. You were looking for Dick on Google, and you were thinking, oh, Dick Van Dyke, yes. Not the kind of Dick you were really looking for, but that's your excuse.
No, you couldn't be further from the truth. No, it was, I don't know, it was like TikTok or something. And there he is talking to a group of school students or film students, probably talking about how to do a perfect Mockney impression.
How to change a nappy effectively in a pensioner.
Yeah. And he was sat there, and yeah, he had his cane next to him, his walking stick.
Oh, yeah.
But fuck me, that guy's 98 years old.
And he still wanders about.
Yeah, and
I bet he still tap dances.
Well, yeah, I mean, anytime he's on camera, it's like an excuse is there to just act the goat.
Yeah, I can be there.
But that's maybe why he's still going.
What, because he acts the goat?
Yeah, I genuinely believe in this, right? He mentally hasn't aged. Yes, his body will be creaking and he'll go home absolutely fucked after, taking a bottle of milk out of the fridge.
Probably.
But inside, up in there,
that sounds like torture. It's a bit like that locked-in syndrome, I suppose.
The mind's active and the body's...
The mind's active, but the body's saying, fuck it.
But the thing is, I don't know, I just think there's a lot to be said for being that cheery and that optimistic. Keep your fucking fake Cockney accents out of it, but everything else... game for it.
Well,
I'd love to see him in the jungle.
Well, tell you what, why don't we get a bunch of celebrities that are nearly 100? Like, if we say, I'm a celebrity that's nearly 100, get me out of here. So, you've got Dick Van Dyke will be going in.
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood, he's got to be about 97, 98.
Oh, easily, yeah.
Mel Brooks is 99, I think.
What about Kirk Douglas?
He's dead.
Right, okay. Well,
that's what happened. He died at 107, I think.
Yeah, so Kirk Douglas is out of here. Okay, he's gone.
Kirk Douglas is gone, yeah, but you've got Mel Brooks, you've got Dick Van Dyke, and you've got Clint Eastwood. Out of those three, who's winning I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here?
Dick Van Dyke.
Mel Brooks.
You reckon?
Definitely. I'm a massive fan of Blazing Saddles and Spaceballs.
Okay.
They're two of the best films ever made. But what films has Dick Van Dyke been in, apart from Mary Poppins?
He was in...
Wait, I'll rephrase that. Yeah, Dick Van Dyke did all this shit, but he didn't write it, and he didn't direct it, he didn't create it. He just turned up and went to his work. Mel Brooks has created everything that he's ever done.
I disagree.
Do you really?
I give you the greatest student daytime TV show of all time, except for Bargain Hunt.
Right.
Diagnosis Murder.
Is Mel Brooks in that?
No. You know who is, though?
Who's that then?
Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke.
And it was like that Murder, She Wrote thing, yeah?
I can't say I watched it.
So in Diagnosis Murder, he played a detective. His actual son from real life, Barry Van Dyke, played Barry, his son. He wasn't Scouse.
Does he have a brother called Paul Van Dyke?
No, and he didn't go around going to me to you. No, but he was in Diagnosis Murder, and I'm pretty sure he did some of the, producery sort of stuff. Why can't I spell diagnosis? There we go. Diagnosis Murder. When I was at college, that was what we always watched. But
Never ever watched an episode of that. See, when I was at school and I went home at lunchtime, every day in Channel 4 at 12:30 was Cheers.
Yeah,
that's what I watched every day for about 2 years. Cheers.
Our common room, it was the big breakfast and friends every morning because we didn't have to go to registration, form class. Dr. Mark Sloan. That's his name in Diagnosis. He works at Community General Hospital.
Nice.
They just basically ran out of thoughts and went, we'll call it Community General. And it's where...
It's not like The Naked Gun, is it? Where you'd maybe go to the police station, it's just called the police station. And when you go to the hospital, it's just called the hospital.
Well, technically it's called Community General. But it's funny because he was a doctor there and all the murder cases somehow came into his ward. I mean, don't get me wrong, murder cases will end up in a hospital or in a morgue.
Well, why do you need a doctor for a murder? I mean, let's face it, right? Person's dead.
True.
Do you need a doctor to say, yeah, it's dead? Yeah, he's dead. Oh, wait, no, he's alive. What? No, he's dead.
It ran for 8 years. This is the thing that puzzles me more than anything. I watched it at the end of its original run, so it was on from 1993 to 2001, by which point Dick Van Dyke was already well into his 80s.
Was he a recurring character in this?
Well, he was the character.
Oh, he was the character.
Dick Van Dyke was Mark Sloan, Dr. Mark Sloan.
Okay.
So Barry Van Dyke. Barry. He'd be like, hey up, Dad. Hey up, Dad. Look, there's another cops.
Oh dear.
Can you imagine maybe we could do this.
What, the Chuckle Brothers in Diagnostic Murder?
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Here's a body. To you.
To me.
Wid Yi.
So in conclusion, from the last 5 minutes, what we've learned is that neither of us actually watch I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, but we might do if Dick Van Dyke tap dances and then eats a snail in the next episode.
No. We might do if Mel Brooks does it and then eats a cockroach and goes, shalom, or something like that.
Maybe we could put Dick Van Dyke and Mel Brooks in an episode of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
No, I'd rather just have them both on this podcast, to be perfectly honest with you.
I mean, fuck, that's a long shot.
It's a very much a long
It's
shot.
a very long shot.
Yeah.
Right, nothing to do with Community General Hospital, but would you?
Is it anything to do with Dick Van Dyke?
No.
Anything to do with Mel Brooks?
No.
Clint Eastwood?
No.
Geriatric celebrities?
Might be to do with one film star called Babe.
Oh, babe.
Would you have a pig's face tattooed around your areolas
Ooh.
with your nipples being the nose for £60?
That sounds like agony.
I mean, it's a very sore and tender place to be tattooed.
I don't want to think. I've not had a tattoo.
Really?
I really.
I
well,
always assumed you had.
How often do you see me naked in the showers going, so he does have a tattoo in his bum?
But that's exactly the thing. I'm assuming that you have a tattoo because I always have my sleeves rolled up, so you see the cassette on my left arm.
I see the cassette in your arm.
Which is going to get joined with other things soon. But anyway.
What are you going to get in your cassette? A pencil?
Yeah,
so
you joke about it, but yeah, that is the extension of my tattoo. So I have a cassette tape.
You're actually going to do that?
Yeah, I'm genuinely going to have an HB pencil put
I was
on.
taking the piss.
I mean, right, hang on. We'll put your widget aside. Frame it as a widget. Come on, I dare you. Here's your opportunity. I'm going to say yes.
Right, would you get a pencil tattooed on you?
Yes! How much?
Just for your own fucking sick pleasures?
Do you want to pay the tattoo fee?
Not really.
Oh, right, well, I'll get it done anyway. No, I am, because, like, we've spoken about my tattoo before. It took me ages to come up with this idea of a cassette tape. And it was the tattoo artist who's like, the bit at the bottom, the tape, instead of it being flat across the runners, why not have it as if it's spooling out? And I'm like, yeah, that's a fucking great idea. And then she kind of planted the seed and she went, you will have to come back and get a tattoo of a pencil next to it. And I'm like, that's a really fucking good idea. She must have thought I was going to go, you're all right. But no, I mean, it'll be cheap and cheerful. And then I want to get, like, maybe some headphones and stuff. I don't know, I'm going to...
I get a bit, instead of having the pencil tattooed on the tape...
If you're going to suggest taping a pencil to my wrist, no, I'm not doing it.
I'm going to suggest you take your finger and you tattoo that to look like a pencil, and then you start poking your own and try to wind it up. That way it's got a bit of practicality.
But then whenever I've got my hand on the show, there's a pencil and I've got to explain the story.
Just wear a glove.
What, look like Michael Jackson?
No, better idea. Just explain it like this. When they say, why have you got a pencil tattooed in your finger? And that's where you say, hang on, I'll just roll up my sleeve and wind my tape back. That's it.
And I'd be like, weird Uncle Martin again. Right, would you then have a pig's face tattooed around your areolas?
That's going to be fucking agony. You know why?
Because it's very tender and very sensitive.
Not only that, I have areolas the size of dinner plates. So it's going to be very, very, very fucking sore. And to be honest, I thought your areola was your complete nipple.
Yeah.
I, for years, thought areola was a Spanish goalkeeper.
Areola saves!
Areola saves! So, I don't know, for 60 quid, putting me in that much pain, I don't know.
I mean, it's not... Let's be positive about this.
Nipple cripples are sore, but I don't want some guy coming along piercing it with a needle and putting ink in it.
But the thing is, it's not the weirdest or most obscure widget in the world.
But it's a very weird tattoo. If someone says, have you got a tattoo? Yes, I do. And they lift up your shirt, and you've got this giant areola the size of a saucer that just looks like a pig. It just could look a bit weird.
You could explain it as just being a massive Peppa Pig fan.
Saying that, it wouldn't be nearly as weird as having a finger tattooed as a pencil so you can wind your imaginary tape back. I think that's right, change the widget. I'll get the tattoo of a pig on my nipple if you get your finger done as a pencil.
Go on then.
Wid Yi.
You sounded quite a bit like Popeye there.
I don't know why. It's Friday night. I've got my belly full of kebab and an iron brain.
If Popeye met Chris Tarrant. I made that mistake tonight again. So we found a kebab shop that we actually get served in. Happy Days. Every time we go there for the last 2-3 weeks, I've been like, right, I'm not going to have the fat bastard portion of kebab. And I ordered the fat bastard portion. Of course I did. And half of it's now in the bin.
It's a waste of good kebab, that.
It is. There are starving children who'd be like, fuck me, I'm hungry, but I'd rather have...
Would you give a starving child the death on a plate that is a doner kebab?
Abso-fucking-litely not.
Well, they're not why do you feel so guilty then? Why am I stuttering? What's going on? I'm turning into Popeye. Actually, genuine one. Have you seen the trailer for the new film coming out next year? Were you aware of the Winnie the Pooh films that came out? Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
It looked awful.
They are so bad. They're awesome. I just think they're funny. There's nothing funnier than the second one where they introduced Tigger as a main character.
For fuck's sake.
And he's just bouncing about killing teenagers and he just looks menacing. But now you've got a Steamboat Willie one, Mickey Mouse.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I can't remember what they've called it, but it is Mickey Mouse's Murderous Rampage. But there's a new one coming out, and I just saw it for the first time just before we came in to do this podcast. Popeye the Slayer Man.
Oh, for God's sake.
And do you want to know what it's about?
Popeye on a killing spree because everyone mocks his right hand.
And his left hand. It's just this guy, it looks like Popeye. But they're in a spinach factory, urban...
Oh, of course they are. Urban exploring.
An abandoned spinach farm, but there was a contaminated tin of spinach, and this guy doesn't like it. You're now in his house, and you've just got Popeye with dragging his knuckles.
That's quite a good impression, in fairness. I mean, you definitely sound like the Robin Williams era.
That's
of Popeye.
kind of where I was going with it, to be honest. But yeah, Popeye the Slayer Man, I think it looks hilarious. So check it out, people. Popeye the Slayer Man.
Do we know when it's out?
2025. But do you want to know something?
Go on.
You look at it in the trailer, the guy actually doesn't look like, I mean, obviously you've got the prosthetics to make him look like Popeye, and you've got his giant arms are dragging along the ground. He looks more like Wayne Rooney to me. So when you just see this actually, that's another one I know from the jungle. Going back to that Colleen Rooney, but let's go back to. I would be more worried if I was Colleen Rooney.
Fucking hell.
And I'm in the jungle, and my husband's at home with all these grannies. You know, do they live near a nursing home? Can he be trusted? He looks like some sort of like overdeveloped caveman to me.
On the subject of Popeye,
Winnie, I'm Wayne Winnie. Oh, I like grannies.
Back to Popeye the Slayer Man.
Popeye the Slayer Man can be Wayne Winnie.
It does look like Shrek meets Wayne Rooney meets Popeye.
Have you got it on your screen now?
I have.
Popeye
he also
the
has
Slayer.
two. This is going to upset my OCD here. He has two very off-centre nipples that have come inwards a bit.
When have you ever looked at Popeye's nipples?
Well, I'm trying not to.
Do they have little pigs tattooed on them?
Yes, they do.
Well, he's a fan of the show, so we should get Popeye on here. Is Popeye going to sound like the Popeye we love and know?
Probably not.
Or is he going to sound like Wayne Rooney?
I'm Wayne Winnie. Winnie smash. Winnie kick football for a living.
To be fair, it looks awful. But we'll still watch it anyway.
It still looks funny, though. I'm actually going to dig in with a Wid Yi now.
Go on, then.
Would you floss your ass with piano wire for £72?
No. That's not it, is it?
That is it.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Floss your ass with piano wire. Well, to be honest, this writing's terrible.
Yeah. Was it written by a doctor?
Written by me, actually.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And I am a doctor. A doctor of love.
Right, so wipe.
Floss your ass with piano wipe for £72. Piano wire, not piano wipe.
Piano wipe would be quite soft and soothing. I was getting excited
piano
for a second.
Well, do you want to know something? Just a thought. Most pianos are made of wood, therefore they're brown. So do people wipe with pianos?
Maybe used.
I think that joke was a little off key, I'm sorry.
Hey!
Wid Yi.
So we're now heading into the weekend. What are you doing for the weekend?
I'm doing really boring, genuinely really boring stuff this weekend. I'm doing adult stuff like a skip run and tidying and dusting the cat and moving the piano and, you know, all the boring stuff.
Well, I'm kind of on the scrounge for you and our listeners at the moment. See, I'm wondering if anyone knows any porn sites they'd like to recommend.
What, like Pornhub's complete, is it?
Well, actually, I want to know what websites there are other than Xvideos, Pornhub, Xtube, Asparade, Brazzers, Xhamster, XNXX, YouPorn, UJizz, Hclips, TNA Flicks, Tube8, Spankbag, Dr. Tuber, Spankwire, Keys Movies,
This might take some
Nuvid, Sun Porno, Bravo Tube, Porn HD, ePorner, Sexvid, XXX Bunker, The New Porn, Mofo Sex, Porn Dreamer, X18X Babe, Update Tube, B-Fuck, HD Moves, Porn Rocks, Porn Mackie, Porn ID, Porn X Porn, Top 3 Porn Videos, Slutload, Pro Porn, Porn Post, Handjob Hub, V Porn Videos, My X Vids, Pornicom, Dance Movies, Wet Place, Adult Free X, Wankflix, 88 Fuck, Fapdo, Rude, Fruitbox, Adult Inc., Pornheed, HD Porn, Orgasm, Porn Rabbit, Mad Thumbs, Fucks Erotica, Deviant Clip, XX Vids, H2 Porn, Ape Tube, Meta Porn, Your Lust Movies, Elephant Tube Long, Porner Brothers.
What? Hang on, Elephant Tube Long?
I thought Porner Brothers was a good one.
It's a good play on words.
3 Moves Ass Time, HQ Bud, HQ Butt, Bang Bus, Bang Bros, Ghetto Tube, Red Tube, Brickhouse Butts, Nutflix, Ghetto Gaggers, Glory Hole, XX Videos, Pornhub, X Tubes, Ass. Oh, this is repeating.
Sorry, I kind of dozed off there.
Does anyone else know any different websites out there? Because I'm a bit bored of these ones. Anything much appreciated.
I think you just completed the internet at that point.
Wid Yi.
What I love about that guy in the kazoo is that he sounds in no way at all like Sweep from Sooty and Sweep.
How do you know it's a guy playing the kazoo and it's not Matthew playing with Sooty and Sweep, but Sweep's actually... Speaking of Matthew,
Yes.
can we just say a massive Wid Yi congratulations to Matthew Perry, 1 year sober this week.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I don't think he's got any choice in the matter, frankly. Oh, may he rest in peace. You know what? I actually remember the day that news broke, and it's like, fuck.
We're going to get cancelled for that, you know, and now that it's just a stage, you know what, people? I'm sorry for your loss.
If you've made it this far into either the episode or the series, and that's the thing that makes you write an angry letter to Karen.
No, Karen's writing an angry letter to herself.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because we taught her son some words he didn't know.
Yeah, and
like
now...
boobs.
Do you want to know? Boobs. And he's now going to be Googling Friends. We've given Friends another viewer. 13-year-olds don't watch Friends. This one does. Karen's son does. Diane's son, whatever I really name it. But, okay, well, we'll maybe change the subject a wee bit. You're a single man.
I am.
You might be inclined to slut up a wee bit on the odd occasion. Excuse me, I've got indigestion. You might be Shut up. You might be inclined for the current mood to slut it up on the odd occasion, but put it this way, you're knackered. You're just worn your dick out. What would you say if I was to invent a backup detachable dick?
Don't these things exist?
Well, I don't know, but if she wants more, but you don't want to wear out your own piece, you know, you just interchange your wang for this fresh new one.
What are you, Robocock?
That's exactly what I was going to call it, Robocock. You just took my punchline, you prick.
Dead or alive? You're coming with me.
Dead or alive, I'm coming on you. Right, I'm just going to clarify right now. Stop right there.
Yeah.
Robocop is nothing to do with necrophilia.
But Robocock is.
It's your cock.
Right. Would you commit... no, here's a big word. Commit auto-asphyxiation in your own wardrobe, dressed as a superhero gimp.
A superhero gimp.
Forest gimp. If you live, get a kebab and a can of iron brew.
See, when you say commit auto-asphyxiation,
Yes.
basically strangle myself dressed as a superhero. But do you know what auto-asphyxiation involves? Auto-asphyxiation is basically you have a wank while choking yourself, and apparently it makes your orgasm super, super, mega fucking awesome. And you hear these stories of like folk like David Carradine who died while hanging from a wardrobe, but his body was found with his dick in his hand where he was beating one off. He must have been about 80 years old anyway at the time.
For God's sake.
That's actually true. And when I think to myself, why the fuck would you do that? And they do it dressed as Batman or something stupid like that. These guys, it's totally weird. So, no, people die doing this shit.
Not for a kebab and a can of iron brew?
Well, put it this way, I come and do a podcast for a kebab and a can of iron brew like I did tonight, and I didn't get my dick out and start strangling myself and fucking beating one out, did I?
Thanks for listening.
Would you do us a favour and check back again next week?
And don't forget to find and like us on the socials.
Wid Yi.